Thank y'all for joining the link up. This is your girl AJ Jones here back, not with any 5 questions specifically. There are 3 people on my video today. I decided I wanted to do something that would challenge everybody who I'm getting to know, have known, worked with, haven't worked with, been on Twitter talking shit with. And so this is going to be my grown version of my own little panel show. Opinions, relationships, dating, that's what the link up is about. And whoever else will be on the next show, it'll be about something else. So you just never know. Okay. So first, I want to introduce the people who are part of my panel today. I'm going to go to the top. We're going to start with a woman named Shae. Shae, tell us about yourself.
Hi, my name's Shae. I live in Maryland, the DMV area. I'm 31. I do IT, and I'm also a high school track coach. Track being my second, well, actually my first sport, then football. But yeah, and I'm goofy.
That's why she's on the show first, specifically. I knew she would be down. Anyway, going bottom, we're going to the glamorous, who you've probably seen if you've been on my YouTube channel, Miss Chante. Please tell us about yourself.
I'm Chante. I'm from Philly. I am 39 years old. I'm a single mom of an amazing little boy with autism. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know I go all over the place with my tweets. So that's all I got to say.
I appreciate it. And all right, so the final person who introduced is someone who I have grown to love in different ways. And she's probably grown to love and probably hate me at times, but we work together at the link. She's someone who I've grown a lot with, and she loves sports as much as I do. And I don't know, when you see this, you'll understand why I have her on the show. Please tell us about yourself, Miss Teri.
Hello, my name is Teri. I will be 53 in 3 weeks.
You don't look it.
I feel it. I'm a mother of 2 grown children, you see I say. And I have a 5-year-old granddaughter, and I work for the Eagles, and I also work for the government full-time. And I live in Philly.
What's up? And I don't. That's why I call myself AJ the suburban princess, because I'm from Jigatown. Anyway, we have to mention though, with this show, I just want it to be just like it is right now, just chill, like I talk to them on Twitter. So, and this is the pilot episode. So if I decide not to do this shit after today, you'll understand why. But I have random questions I wanted to ask, and I sent all the girls an email basically with these random questions I want to pick their brain with. Not in any particular order, because I'm expecting some answers to either be short or some answers might create a story, which is fine with me. So the first question I want to ask is, describe a time you might have fought over a man or a girl and why you did. If you never did, why or why not? Chante.
Okay, well, short answer is no, I have not. Why? Because there's just too many men out here to be fighting over just one. When I was dating Levi's dad, when I found out he was cheating on me, the girl he was cheating with, she looked like a horse donkey, but that's a whole other topic. But
let me mute.
She called his phone, right? Had the nerve. See, now y'all trigger me. So you know I'm gonna tell a story. So had the nerve to have this girl in the phone listed as Josh. Now, motherfucker, you are from West Philly. I know you don't know nobody named Josh, right? So I picked up the phone. So she was like, yeah, can I talk to Ken? And I was like, who is this? She was like, this is Jasmine. Okay, well, he's in the shower right now. What do you want? Well, I left something in his car the other day. All right, well, he's gonna have to call you back. Like, I wasn't even like tripping, like, yo, who you I was just like real even kill, because I knew as soon as he got out the shower, I was gonna rip him a new asshole. So I was like, well, he's just gonna have to call you back. Click. So he gets out the shower, and I was like, so your friend Josh called, but you know, like when I picked up the phone, it was some girl named Jasmine. So, and like the look on his face was like that oh shit type of moment. And I was like, you just can't even like, I said, number one, I said, I already know what the girl looks like. You couldn't even upgrade if you're going to cheat on me. And then number two, you can't even be smart about it. Like you just blatantly like the phone not locked. There's no security thing to get in the phone. Like it was just ringing, boop, hello. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I don't believe in getting into it with another woman because men have a way of manipulating the situation to make the other girl he's dealing with thinking like the situation is whatever they want to tailor it to be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not about to play myself and go chase down some girl, getting her DMs. Fuck all that. I'ma fuck you up. We gonna square up in the parking lot because I sleep with you in the same fucking bed every single night. So we squaring up. Fuck her. Cause she don't know what's going on. For all I know, you could have told her you're single and you don't even have a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so triggered. All right, I'm done. I'm triggered right now.
This is why I gotta mute some folk. But
Mm-mm.
this is why I wanted Chante first though, because I knew she was gonna steer it up. All right, so I'm not gonna ask the same question
I
every
gotta
time.
answer. I mean, I have a story though for that.
I know you
one.
have a story, but I want to jump because I want to come back because I want to be able to revisit stuff. So I'm gonna ask you, Shae, since I hear you. When are you considered too old to have a crush? And
I don't
won't
think
take
we're
anything
ever too
personally,
old to have a crush. I don't think there's like an age, or I don't think there's an age limit to have a crush.
Okay. I only threw that question out there because y'all see me every time on Twitter having a crush on somebody different every damn night.
Always.
Oh yeah, there's definitely no age.
So, and I'm 42. I'm not afraid to admit my age, but I just feel like because I'm choosing not to date right now, I'm in this like dormant period by choice. Doesn't mean I couldn't, just by choice. And I'm lazy. So next question I'm going to throw to Teri. What is the one piece of advice you would give to young teenagers of today regarding dating? And I'm going to
do it. Don't do it. Have fun. Don't tie yourself down with one man. For what? You're a teenager. Go out there, enjoy your teenage years. Have all the sex you want. Just make sure it's protected. Because I had the same boyfriend in high school. And as much as I had fun in high school, it was heartbreaking too because he treated me bad. So there was times when I was at home crying over him and everything, and my friends were out having fun. I would go back and I would do it all different this time if I could. I wouldn't have a boyfriend in my teenage years.
You weren't that type of mother to not, because my family always said you don't be fresh until a certain age. So you were never putting limits on your daughters.
No,
don't at 16 or 18. You know what I'm saying? Some
because
people
they're going to do what they want to do anyway. Like you can pound stuff in your children's heads. Once they walk out that door, they're going to do what they want to do. So all you can do is tell them, give them advice and everything and pray to God they listen to you. That's not just with that, it's with anything, so no, I like it. I mean, my girls, they both had boyfriends, and it was funny because I used to see my youngest with her boyfriend. She was like 6'10", he was like 4 foot. They were sitting up in the corner, she was like this, and I'm like, girl, but don't do it. Just have fun, enjoy it, be able to go. I mean, just enjoy your teenage years and your 20s too.
And your 20s, yeah, because that's when I started dating. Now, all right, now I want to go back to Shae because that answer was short, so I want to give you something that you can give me something for. Name 5 traits of your ideal significant other, Shae.
This is like
some women have a list. Like
physical, or like
I think I used the wrong word, but just how some people label things they want. Like I want honesty, big shoulders, teeth, whatever. Just give me 5.
Okay, so first thing, he gotta have like a nice smile, so that comes with nice teeth. Somebody that matches now that I'm getting older and just like my personality in a sense. I mean, everybody's different, but if you can handle my foolishness and be how I be on Twitter, and then outside of Twitter, just me as normally, like that's a plus. Like you got to be able to beat into my foolishness. So I don't know what you call that, but compatibility. That's compatibility. 3 more.
Money, or do you care?
Money, well, yeah, I do care about that.
It's not a bad thing to care about money, you
Right.
know.
I say trustworthy. Trustworthy, and as well as like in a sense, vulnerable. I'm at a point. I know some dudes struggle with vulnerability. And I could, as a female, I struggle with that too. But I'm like, if I'm willing to be open, I expect you to be open with me.
Absolutely.
Is that I got what, two more, one more?
I kind of blended the last one, but give me one more. You can say the obvious one. There's no editing.
Oh,
thank you, Chante. Some women don't care because they say motion of the ocean, but let's just be honest.
Listen, you not magnum size or bigger. Bye. I'm sorry. I need my walls touched.
Oh,
is this rated? I don't know. I'm trying to be.
It's okay. I was gonna say it don't matter because I can cut it if you don't want me to use
I need my wall. You gotta be in my stomach. All right, I'm done.
She's done. Mute. Okay.
All right.
No, I love it.
That's
what I wanted. No, you know, and I knew with Chante in my peripheral, I said somebody's gonna tell her. I was waiting for it. Okay. All right. So moving on, we're gonna go back to Chante. I always get her with the stories. I just like the way you tell stories. So I'm gonna just say, describe your first crush.
Ooh,
and I'm gonna go back to all of y'all for this one. This one I want to hear stories. So
okay,
go ahead.
First, like major crush was this guy in high school, and I started liking him in my sophomore year of high school. And it's I tell this story in a couple of podcast interviews when I talk about like the journey of my writing, because the foundation of that started with a letter I wrote to this guy about how I felt about him. And this is me just being like naive at 15, 16 and not really understanding the, you know, guys at that age, all they want to do is smash and go. They ain't trying to talk to the girl with the braces and straight A's and book smart. They want the hoe down the hallway that ran through half the football team. That's what they want. You know what I'm saying? So I wrote him this letter and I gave it to my homegirl because I knew that she was in his class, like kind of in the same hallway where my class was during that certain part of the day. So I gave it to her and I was like, yo, just, you know, let me know at lunch what he says, right? Or if he read it. So she gave it to him. And then later on at lunch, I was like, did he say anything or anything? She was like, I saw him read it. He opened the letter because you know how it was back in the day, fold the letter and he unfolded it.
Like origami and shit.
Right. So he unfolded it and he read it. And she was like, he didn't say nothing to me. And I was like, all right. So it was like no response to that, whatever. So fast forward to our senior year, I had got the braces off and was a little bit feeling myself just a tiny bit because I ain't had the braces no more. But we were signing people's, you know, our yearbooks and everything. And this asshole goes and writes, you know, I got you open. Now, back then, I didn't know what that meant. Now, as a grown woman, and I'm, you know, freak nasty all the way through, I'm like, that's what you, like, you ain't respond to nothing I wrote. That heartfelt letter, it was beautiful.
And that's all he had.
Yeah, so that, I mean, I can just be totally honest. Anytime I have had a crush on someone, it just went totally to the left. Like, it ended up like either they was lying about a relationship that I didn't know about, and you just let me pour my heart out to you. But that has never, and that goes back to what Shae said, like, you're never too old to have a crush because it's feelings. It's, you know, you see somebody and you just feeling everything about them. You know, it never stopped me from having a crush. Now that motherfucker, he looks like a hobbit from the hood. Now he just looks like a fucking train wreck. So I really dodged the bullet. You know, like I dodged the bullet with that motherfucker because he ain't done shit since we graduated high school. So it was like, you could have bossed up and upgraded, but you out here looking a hot fucking mess. Like, bye, bitch. Like, no. I'm triggered again. Let me go on mute.
Okay. All right. Okay. So Shae,
Yes.
I will ask you the same question then. Who was your first crush? It's obvious it's gonna happen because I'm not gonna meet him. First of all, Terry's the one who got me interested in Mike Scott. That was the most recent like obsession, like, and I still feel something with that Negro.
I was the original. I was the original person that was in love with Mike Scott when he first got here, but that girl.
I know.
Took
and I
over
remember you told me,
everything.
but I didn't know who he was. I just knew when we got him from, was it Washington he was on when we got him? Clippers. When he was on the Clippers, I was in love with that dude. I don't even know why it was. Something about him reminded me of, okay, so technically not my first crush, but I guess my first thing. He kind of reminded me of him. I think that's why I started crushing on Mike so hard, because this guy named Dave, who I was briefly with, reminded me of like that kind of swag. And you know, if you're from the burbs and you ain't gone out, you don't know no hood Negroes at all. So if you do meet somebody who's opposite, and every girl who's not in an environment where you will come across a guy who's not from your neck of the woods, is always appealing. So I think that kind of swagger, I didn't like the fact he smoked, but he was cute to me. He was very cute. Now, the only problem is you can't have a serious relationship with someone who doesn't want to, without giving stuff away, protect himself, if you know what I mean. So that would have technically worked out had he not been against that, because I would have been all for it. That would have been my first, you know, and I probably would have been in love still. But I'm kind of glad it didn't work, because he ended up getting somebody pregnant and whatever, and it wasn't going to manifest anyway. We really probably didn't have that much in common. It was probably lust. But I'll just move on. I'll come back to Shae, but I'll move on to the next question. Serious talk. Were you ever raised, or I worded this weird, but I meant to say, now I know Teri, you're biracial, so it may kind of be a weird question, but it was more just in general, because interracial dating seems to be still a weird thing to people for whatever reason. And it's probably because of the racial tensions we've been going through. But have you ever been raised to only stay within your race when it comes to dating, or your family kind of give you this feeling like, don't do that, you know, don't, either one of you. I'm gonna ask Shae too when she comes back, but I'm gonna start with Teri. Have you ever had anybody in your family, and I know your situation, but I'm just asking you just to ask, have ever like kind of discouraged you from dating a white guy or dating anybody other than Black?
No, they discouraged me from dating Black guys. Yeah. They always said, "Oh, I wish you'd come home with a white guy, this and that." But that just wasn't me.
And what was the reason for that? Because I want to know why. Because specifically, it's always a reason why people say that.
They were all white.
Yeah, but do you think it was also because of, like, what I'm getting at is like, people always say you should date somebody racist, but also did they feel like white people have more money? That's
no, they were racist.
Okay.
You gotta understand. I didn't just deal with racism outside in the real world. I dealt with it within my family.
Right.
So I couldn't bring my Black boyfriends to the house. I couldn't bring my Black friends to the house because my grandfather would have a fit. And my mom made the remark many times, "Oh, you need to date a good white guy." But you got pregnant to a Black man and had me.
Right.
What's up with that?
What is that?
But it was, they liked a lot of my boyfriends, even though they were Black. But they always preferred the white ones, and that just wasn't for me. So
I got
it just boiled down to them being racist.
I think in the end, what I asked that for too is because, and within the Black community, especially those who have a thing with dating outside your race, mostly think because they think it's just safer to stay where you're at. As y'all know, I always get, you know, the "are you half white" type stuff, because I know how to pronounce words. Ain't got nothing to do with whether I date all white guys or whatever. I've dated African, I've crushed on some Asian guys, never dated them. Hell, Indian too, but mostly I've had white guys, but my first boyfriend was Black. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, because especially because my family, even outside of my immediate family, have babies with, my cousin has a Finnish wife. My sister has a white husband. Somebody I know, Puerto Rican and Black, you know, my cousin's in Jersey. So I guess going back to you, Chante, too, growing up, why do you think that is that Black people have such an issue with or even me, because I'm not even gonna lie, as a Black sister, you know, when you see somebody like a celebrity that you love, like Derek Luke or somebody, that actor that has a white wife, and you get, yeah, I know. See, I see Terry's face, but you feel some type of way. I was just watching this on a pod. This was a question that came up on that pod, Higher Learning. They always say, what is it about us that we feel so hurt when we see somebody dating outside of race?
Well, case in point, the backlash, where I don't know where this comes from with Michael B. Jordan. My thing is with him, and this is why I defend him on the timeline, is I don't care if you date outside of your race, but don't bash women that look like your mom. You know what I'm saying? That's where I have a problem. And he's never bashed us as Black women. He's always uplifted us. He's always supported us. I don't give a fuck who he lays down with. You know what I'm saying? He's never been disrespectful to Black women. Meanwhile, you have plenty of Black men who are just straight up disrespectful about Black women, very body shaming. Y'all see me talk about it on the timeline, like talking about body types and what's attractive and what's not. And I don't tolerate none of that shit, because y'all keep talking about women that are in your family. You have aunts that look like us. You have mothers that look like us. You have sisters that look like us. You have grandmothers that birthed your mother, that birthed you. You know what I'm saying? That's where I have a problem with it. As far as like who you decide to lay down with and have children with, I don't give a fuck. Just don't bash your own race. That's where I have a problem with, because you come from that community.
Right.
Right. Well, that's so.
Go ahead, Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
The problem I have with it, I mean, the only problem I have with it is, if you're going to date outside your race, like if we're going to date a white person, a white man, woman, I need you to understand what us as Black people have gone through.
That's too. Right.
I'm not going to date someone who doesn't understand and wants to argue with me every time I try to explain to them why I'm upset because another unarmed Black person got killed. If you ain't down for the cause in that, then there's no reason for us to go any further. Exactly. So that's the only thing I have. That's the only problem I have with interracial dating and everything. And people say to me, how can you feel that way? You're half Black, half white. I said, I didn't tell my dad to lay down with a white woman. That has nothing to do with me. That was them two.
Yeah.
Like,
right. That was their decision.
That has nothing to do with me. Right. And sometimes I think my mom forgets that she has a half Black child, because she'll say to me, well, you're half white. But you forget I'm half Black. Right. And you forget what I have to go through all my life being half Black.
Defending that. Yeah. Amongst your own.
So that's my thing. Right. I don't like seeing couples together and one's a Trump supporter and one's Black Lives Matter. I don't understand
how does that work?
Exactly.
Right.
All the love in the world.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to be down, then whatever.
We kind of got into the interracial conversation. It basically stemmed off of, because I'm going to come back to the question before, but were you ever raised in your family to only date within your race? Your face?
Pretty much. Okay. Not necessarily raised, but it's like, my family too Black for me to be bringing home a white
This is why I wanted to ask. You know what I'm saying? Right.
So
go ahead.
And I'm I love my Black brothers. I love my Black kings. I can't say I found like somebody outside of Black race where I would be like, yeah, I'll marry them, or or be in a relationship with them. And kind of like going back to what Terry was saying, like, as far as everything that's going on in the world, as far as, police killing us, the whole Trump, like, nah, I can't. If we don't have the same views on that, like, nah, I can't. So
the reason why I wanted to even bring that up too is because I was saying earlier while you were going, Shae, is that, of course, me growing up, speaking the way I do, I've always been accused of not liking my own. And my sister has dealt with it too. My sister's married to a white guy. I was just telling them I have cousins who one's married to a Finnish woman, one's married to a Puerto Rican. My younger cousin, Chris, is just moving out, and I think the girl's Lebanese. I think he's moving out to California with. So I know they say love knows no color, but we obviously are in a climate right now where everyone's going to be looking at that a little bit more suspicious. But If it comes right down to it, to me, at the end of the day, and why I'm doing the link up, is you have to realize that everybody comes from a different background, but some people basically can be mature enough to agree to disagree. That's what we're missing right now in the world is maturity and knowing self-control. Like, don't step to people because you don't agree with it. Don't don't do that. And in Teri's case, especially because she has white in her family, that is even more, that's a harsher level to have to deal with it when it starts at home. You know, and then you have to deal with self-worth issues. I mean, Teri always came off to me like she knows herself and loves herself. So
I thought she was just for real. This is my first time hearing that you're mixed. I just thought you were light-skinned Black girl. I promise. I swear to God.
Teri knows. When I first met her, I thought she was Puerto Rican.
Mom's white.
Wow.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
You remember?
I would have never known that.
Teri, you remember when we first worked together? What did I tell you? I thought you were Puerto Rican. And I remember we went. You like, no, I'm Black. And I just thought to myself, I was like, oh, okay. But I felt bad because I know that in our space and some people's spaces, you have a way of saying what Black is and what's not considered Black. But now my sister has children that are biracial, and they're gonna grow up, and people say, "Well, no, they Black. Do you see them lips? Or you see that
people
hair?"
say all the time, "You ain't Black."
Yeah. And so that's something you're gonna have to go with. And for me, I'm dark skinned, but I'm not dark skinned. So people think that she's just Black because she's not really Black. What's that mean? I want to get off of that one because that's gonna piss me off. Then I'm gonna start. So all right, so we're gonna go back to rant. Okay, this is music. So everybody put their stuff on mute first. Mute yourself. The reason why I wanted to ask this question was because music always gets you in a good mood, right? So especially if, like last night they had, and I couldn't watch all of it because it was painful, but Bobby Brown versus Q Sweat. And that really was upsetting me in so many ways. So since Shae, I'm gonna start with you. Unmute yourself. What artists, when you listen to them, put you in a romantic mood?
A romantic mood.
Yes. Everybody has at least someone you could think of recently. I know there's probably tons, but someone that recently, like every time I hear it, oof.
I'm gonna go with Music Soul Child.
What song specifically are you thinking of? There's always a song that pops in.
Love is like my favorite favorite song by him, and I'd probably say like my top 5 favorite song.
I do
I want that played at my wedding. That's
gonna make me cry.
Oh, and what's that song? Not Who Knows. Is it Who Knows? No, it's the other one. I love you when your hair turns gray, and I still want you to get don't change.
That song, okay, yes.
That song puts me in the mood. Like,
when he's reflecting on growing old with somebody.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's romantic.
All right. I have an old soul, but yes.
No, that's not even old because music. Come on, that first album is still a classic, and then he had some ones on his second to last one. I think that I really love. That song's so beautiful. But anyway, all right. So Chante, who is your artist that puts you in that mood?
Oh man. Can we go back to like the 90s, or does it have to be
anybody that just puts you first top of your head?
I gotta say Trey Songz, even though he's a jerk in real life, because he just can't stay out of trouble for nothing, but like he's a lot. Like I'm telling you, Ready, that album Ready was from start to finish was just, I miss that era of R&B where you just be like, oh my God, like I love that vibe of what R&B used to be. I don't know what's going on now with this era of, if it is existing right now, but the 90s really had it on lock. It was just so many artists that I'm just trying to think like, Music Soul Child, I gotta agree with Shae. He really had it on lock with that neo soul and just being like half crazy to this day. Really, it hits different now as an adult because when it came out, I think I was just coming out of high school, early 2000s. So I didn't have that type of relationship that the song was talking about. But now I'll sit back and listen to his music now and I'd be like,
Yeah.
Yo, like Half Crazy really like just hits me in my heart because it's just like, yo, you really do have, there's always been somebody in your life that what he's talking about, like we used to
Oh,
chill. We
yeah, yeah,
used,
yeah, yeah.
it's like all that stuff. And then like, it gets intimate and things get ruined because,
They're
feelings get
weird.
involved and things,
Mhm.
things go to the left. But that
To the left,
whole
to the left.
era, yeah, like that whole era of like Music Soul Child and Donnell Jones and Joe,
Donnell Jones,
it,
that song was my favorite because that was as honest as you're gonna hear a guy be about cheating.
yeah, like
Saying
Where I Want to Be, that song to this day, that
honest as you're
song
gonna
makes
get.
me cry.
Yeah,
That
because it's
song
true.
makes me cry. Yeah.
All right,
And it's,
Terry,
yeah.
who is your artist? Uh-oh.
The man from last night, Keith Sweat. Girl, I got pregnant to his music.
At least he looked good. He didn't embarrass me. Bobby embarrassed me, but go ahead.
They were both embarrassing.
I just
It
think
don't
Keith
matter
still
because
look
Keith
nice.
Sweat is the most non-singingest person in the world, but he can make some music. He cannot sing, but he can make some music. And the other one who I got pregnant to is Silk. Girl, you put some Silk on or Keith Sweat, I'm done.
Yo, I didn't know I was one of them people too on Twitter, like, yo, he wrote that? Like he wrote so
Yeah.
many, and now it makes
He
sense.
wrote
Like,
Let's Chill by Guy too.
yeah, that's
And
the
I didn't know
song.
that.
Yeah, because that makes sense. To me, every song that you do remember the most, now it makes sense why he wrote that. So yeah, I agree with
But
it. I mean,
all them groups like Jodeci,
yeah, freaking you.
Shae, even though they only had a few songs.
But it was a pretty song. No
All them songs back, all them groups back in the 90s. I mean, they were just
90s
I
was
was
classic.
talking to someone last night. They sent me their playlist on Spotify. And it's like, man, they don't make music like that no more.
No, because if they do, it's really explicit. You kind of feel uncomfortable. Like there's a difference between singing sexy and making me feel nasty. Like I agree with Chante with Trey because there's songs that Trey have sung that I even like. I'll even go back and I'll mention it. I did like some R. Kelly stuff, but now it hits different.
The only R. Kelly song I listen to is Seems Like You're Ready. That's my song. It will always be my song. And girl, if I could get pregnant, I'd probably get pregnant to it now. But
I actually like the greatest sex I ever had, actually. That song I really like that.
I don't listen to R. Kelly. That's the only
I know,
song.
I don't either. My guy is Maxwell. That's the one that always gets me in the mood. Every time I hear Fortunate. Anytime I hear go ahead, Trey. Go ahead,
no, I'm saying funny that you said that. That's one of my favorite Maxwell songs. And R. Kelly wrote that, and you can actually hear him singing.
Of course. Of course. For some reason though, when I hear him hit that note, yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Yeah. I mean, honestly, you have to understand, like some of these dudes may be slightly disturbed, but they know how to take you there. And I even like some Luther. I mean, I'm gonna go there too. I mean, Luther was very romantic.
Yes.
It's the romance that we need as women. We don't always need you to talk about smacking up, flipping, and rubbing. Leave something to the imagination. Because at some point, if you romance me enough, it's gonna get to that. You don't have to say it. There's something sexy about subtleness, and I think that's what we're missing in music, All right, so we're gonna keep this going. I want to be able to also ask serious questions, but I also want, because we all love sports, so I want to bring it back to sports. Since the show is called The Link Up, and it's the holiday season, Terry, who would you love to have fireworks with who's an athlete if you had your day and your time and your weight? Let me put myself on mute.
Chante. Should we take his soul, Chante? I can't.
What is happening? What is happening?
No, you don't understand the conversations me and her have.
I'm sure y'all got some kind of bond because I can see y'all on Twitter and I'd be like, they have jokes.
I don't like light-skinned guys.
Oh.
But Ben Simmons can get it upside down any way he wants. He got to be out of Philly, though. He got to go. But Ben Simmons, I
understand that now. I do get it now. I didn't like him in the beginning, but Ben, he got really sexy. Look at Shae. I know Shae won't be like this motherfucker. It's something about
Then-
his arms and his face got
Yes.
more defined because he was a chubby baby. Like all him and his sister both have the same face, but he got real leaned out in the last year. And I don't know. He can't shoot.
The
but
soul
he's
out of
sexy.
him.
Okay. I'm gonna get off of you. All right, Chante, is it the same? Because I'm gonna go to Shae, but is it the same guy? Or you have who would you like to have firecrackers popping with on 4th of July?
Listen, I would definitely, he's not on the team anymore, but I did get a chance to meet him 2 years ago at the Eagles Autism Challenge. And I tell you, video and pictures don't do this man justice. But Corey Clement,
Absolutely.
I had to hold it together because my son was with me, but he was smelling good, and then he was being nice to Levi. And then I'm trying to talk to Derek Barnett because Derek was standing next to us while we were taking a group picture, and he's all in the conversation. And I was like, "Look, you got one more time before I kidnap your ass, and I'm gonna take your soul. That's it. I will take his soul. I'll take his soul in a Giants jersey. That's just how fine that man is. Like,
I know it's gonna be hard because he's a Giant now, but yeah,
that's
I
a
agree.
beautiful
I
man.
crushed on him
Like
too.
the
He got nice
dimples and the
teeth.
chocolate. Oh
Got
God.
nice teeth. Anyway, all
Lord.
right, Shae, it's your turn.
I don't know if I have one.
No, it doesn't have to be a famous athlete. Is there just, or are you digging?
Oh, the celebrity? It doesn't have to be an athlete.
No, just give me
Oh, I've
something. Then.
always said from day one, he kind of corny now, but he can still get it. I always said Tyrese could get it. The chocolate body, man. In the lately video, oh my God, the things I would do to that man.
No, he's beautiful. He's a beautiful man, but I do worry about his mental right now. He is kind of.
Yeah, no, for real. That's what I said.
Yeah.
No, he can get it.
But baby
No.
boy, you're right. Baby boy did kind of.
Woo!
Anyway, all right. So, okay. So the reason why, again, I don't want to keep y'all too long, but I wanted to do these questions. I don't know if there was one that I forgot the one I was supposed to go back to. Because I know Shae, when you left, there was something I was going to ask you. Oh, okay. So the first one, this is a good question. I'm gonna start with Shae with this one. Why is it so hard to find a man that's faithful in a monogamous relationship? In your opinion, Shae?
Because they want to F every thing that walks. They don't want to commit. Commitment is huge. They're so scared of commitment. And I don't know. I guess they
Do
just.
you think it's the vulnerable thing too? Because you said earlier you want a guy that's vulnerable. Do you think guys just they get afraid when they're too vulnerable or something?
I think so. Because like nobody, vulnerability comes with, how can I put it? Like, it comes with feeling like, oh, I don't want to be judged, or so that I would go with that.
Okay.
I would say commitment and vulnerability.
All right, so we're gonna go. I'm gonna save Chante for last because I know she got a story because she be snapping. So, Teri, why do you think it's so hard for men to be faithful in a monogamous relationship?
Because they ain't shit. They just ain't shit. And it's not even older men or younger men. It's all of them. They ain't shit. They don't want to be loyal. They want you to be loyal to them, but they don't want to be loyal back. I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened to these men. Like,
You think it has something to do with the way they were raised? You think that's connected?
No. Because a lot of especially these younger guys, like you guys, a lot of them were raised by their grandparents, and they were brought up right. They just ain't shit. Like I dealt with a guy he's 50 now. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he ain't shit. Like he
don't discriminate. Age don't discriminate. If you ain't shit, you ain't shit.
Exactly. So I think that it's hard for men because the women now, we are independent. We are very vocal. We don't have a problem saying anything we feel, and they don't like that. Like I think they're intimidated by us. So I don't know. I don't know why it is that we can't find the right man. I'm thinking that's what it comes down to, because we have our own and we don't really need them for anything. Get the rose, y'all, get the rose. But I don't know. It's
Okay.
just we don't really need them.
Here's the thing, and it's not just the money thing either, because I know that there's that energy out there that, you know, if man don't pay for this, then I don't want. It's not even that anymore, especially not for me, because I've always had issues with money. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I'm not the type of person that needs someone to pay for me all the time, even if I find very simple things romantic. That's why partially I think that I'm scared to date. All right, I'll say it. I'm scared to date because
I
I
don't
just
want to date.
that too. And I knew after my 40s, I was going to get more like, why? Like, I don't feel like the game anymore, you know? And it's not even like I was a serial dater, you know? But I also feel like it's so much work to just look pretty. It's just so much work. And I think I liked it in my late 20s because that's when I really started popping, getting more confident. But the problem is by my 30s, I realized I'm just not that girl. Like, I just can't.
When you get to your 50s, you ain't gonna really give a fuck.
No, I know. That's where my girlfriend, she's about to be 50 in October. She's already there. Like, she's starting to talk, like, before, when we first became close friends, she used to be that girl that just would fly by the seat of her pants. Now she's like, I just hung out with such and such. And she's like, I'm not trying to be about that anymore. And if he doesn't come correct, like, I'm not. And I was like, oh, gross.
That's right.
But Chante, okay, so going to you now. Do you think it's possible to be in a monogamous relationship and be faithful? Or do you feel like Teri and Shae said, men ain't shit?
Men aren't shit. They go by this cake and eat it too mentality. So even if they do have a girlfriend, a partner, a wife, that it, the thing how like what men operate is they need some type of stability so they can do the bullshit out in the streets. That kind of counteracts, you know, what they got at home so they can run the streets or get on social media and do the bullshit that they do, right? And I've lived through that multiple times, as you know, the other amazing ladies on this panel has lived through that shit. So is it possible? I think it is. But I had this conversation with a friend of mine. So as much as us as women, we don't want to hear this shit, it's really like the dynamics of dating has changed drastically over the last. I'm 39. Yeah, I'm 39 now, and I go back to remember when I was like in my 20s. It has changed drastically over like the last decade and a half, and we can't even use the same standards that our parents and our grandparents used for dating, because dating had a purpose back then. Like you needed to marry someone so that, you know, it could, you know, to have that stability for a household. There was a reason to get married back when our parents were dating and all that shit. Now, like Shae said, and like seriously, like we're more independent, we're making more money, you know, we're more self-sufficient. Men, some of these guys out here, they just want a second mom, you know, to do all this shit, take care of them, make sure, you know, they want that 1950s mentality, but they acting like, you know, the bullshit that goes on now as far as, you know, the dating scene. But my thing is, I'm gonna slut them all out. Let's just keep it real. I'm gonna just slut you out. I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, you know, I'm 39, going to be 40 next year, and I'm already at like, listen,
I understand.
you want to be a hoe? You want to be a hoe? I'm gonna treat you like a hoe. If you want to be a man and be a gentleman and know the quality of the type of woman that I am, that's a whole different other story. But you out here, you know, and Shae, you know, me and Shae talk like literally every other day, so she knows a lot of shit. But if we're smashing, because yeah, I get real raw, but I'm gonna get real raw right now. So if
Go
we
get her
smashing,
her book of poetry, people.
yeah, if we're smashing, and then I see you laying it real thick on your IG stories about women, you know, women crush Wednesdays, and this is my boo, You don't give a fuck about her. And ladies, don't feel validated with this social media bullshit. Just because he posts you, just because he like your post, just because he got you for women, Wednesday, Crush Wednesday, but all that bullshit, he's still fucking somebody that's liking the pictures and leaving comments. So please just be aware of that shit. And the thing is like, you're not gonna have me looking stupid out here, because this circles back to like, I got stories for days, but this circles back to
That's why I said I love you talking.
Right. This circles back to Levi's dad. Like, he was out here fucking around while I was pregnant. I didn't find this out until after I gave birth to Levi. But I got my snapback. Guess what? I fucking cheated on him and I kicked him out of my house. Like, you're not gonna be out here making me look stupid. And then he got all upset, started to cry. And I was like, you can take those tears and take it to your mom's house, because I'm not with the bullshit. Like, you out here treating me looking like I look like, the humpback from Notre Dame and shit. We ain't doing that. Bye. Get the fuck out of my house. That's why I didn't put his ass on the lease. Bye. Bye, bitch. Bye. Get out.
Wait,
get your shit and get out. Call your mom. Call your mom and tell her to come pick you up. Bye. No, and I'm not driving you either.
Clips of all the things she said people look like today, because she has made like 5 and
no. Bye. Yeah, get out. Yeah, bye. I don't got time for that. No.
I hear you. I hear you. Somebody gonna have a good vacation.
You're damn right I am. Thirst traps all over it. And I wish a motherfucker would get in my DMs again, because guess what? Yeah, and I'm you need to post this on Twitter, because no matter of fact, I'm gonna make a tweet because I'm triggered now. So I'm gonna make another when we get off of this. I'm about to post something else because I'm sick of these men. I'm really sick. Like, how you gonna police my page? If I want to post breasts and bathing suits, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do because it's my body and it's my page. How about you act accordingly? If you in a fucking relationship, act accordingly. Don't police what and this is what pisses me off with men. Like, y'all be doing the dirt and then y'all want to blame us for y'all bullshit. Get the fuck out of my face with that. All right, I'm done.
Okay, she done. I'm mute. Good look, they applauding down there. Yes, girl. No, trust me, I understand. And here's the thing, again with the link up. What I want to understand is when I met Shae, especially through Twitter, I liked vibing with her through Twitter because she's a fun soul. But I also always got a vibe with her that she is about her shit. Like, something about her, and I have never even hung out with you, Shae, but something about you always felt like, I like her. She's cool, And Teri and me have always kind of had this off and on bond as we work through the link, because Teri knows I can be full of drama. But at the same time, Teri knows I'm hypersensitive as well. But right. I read through some of our back and forth, and I used to be sensitive to her. Now I'm just like, you know what? Sometimes Teri just need a hug. And sometimes I just want to make her laugh, because I know Teri been going through some stuff. And sometimes it just helps as a female. You don't have to have, to be friends for years, okay? Because sometimes these dudes be putting us in our feelings, whether they mean to or not. And the purpose of this link up not only was to try it, but I wanted to see if everyone understood why I like y'all and why I wanted to do this show. We don't all hang out all the time, but I feel like you guys have even more fun stories than I do, because lately I've just been hiding. So pandemic got me shook and I don't have no cars, so I won't be seeing none of y'all for a while. But right. I wanted y'all to do this show because I feel like y'all could give me, and I feel like Shae could give me some more. But we're gonna do this again, because I'm gonna give you 5 questions though, because you haven't done my 5 questions. So I'm gonna give you the 5 questions just for you, because I want you to talk more. So we're gonna do something.
Well, I remember the question. It was like, have you fought a girl?
There we go.
Or over. So yeah, that's the story. So the thing is, I wish I did fight her. So let's go back. Let's story time. So last year, 2020 was like a good and bad year for me. Good as far as, still being through the pandemic, still being able to have a roof over my head, getting into a new apartment, still having a job, blah, blah, blah. Bad part, personally, ex-boyfriend who I really thought was the one, broke up with me over Facebook Messenger. Yeah, that's another story. That we want to talk about that on another story time. But before that, when we were together, some girl reached out to me on Facebook Messenger and was like, do you know such and such? Yeah, he's living with me. Well, he, I've seen a picture of you of you on his phone, and he said he tried to play it off like it was nothing, but like here are text messages of our conversation. So I've always been the type, no female should ever be coming to you about your nigga. Like, no. So I'm playing along with it, trying to get more information. I got the information. I approached him like as a woman. It wasn't even on no like, you a hoe, all this, because I know bitches be lying. So he denied it, whatever. Fast forward, at my old apartment, I get outside my door, there's a note that says his name, I can't wait till you eat my tonight. Now, mind you, he was living in my apartment. So I'm like, is this been following me? So I think of that, your question, I was like, no, I wish I would have fought her. Because you showing up to my house. I don't know how you got my address. Violation. But yeah, very violation. And like how in the only
Chicks
way
just want drama. That's what I hate, girls like that.
Really, and I am not about the drama. I can joke with you, laugh like no, I ain't with that. But that's definitely a story where I wish I would have fought her just for violating. Like I really felt like you really came to my house, very disrespectful. But yeah.
Put your crap out there literally on Front Street. Yeah. So if you saw her, you probably still want to jump her, right? Oh, I hope I'm with you when that happens. or somebody could be a witness so we can all be like, yo, it went
down. Girl, you ain't got a car. You ain't going nowhere.
I better. And she looked like, I ain't trying to be funny, but she looked like a little girl who dresses like a boy. So I'm just like, this is your type.
She's like a Pat or a Chris.
Let me explain something to y'all. And that's what women do. Don't look at them and think, why her? What does she have that I don't have? Because it has nothing to do with the way we look.
That's what we go to.
It's them. Yeah. They will fuck with anything that gives them attention.
True.
So you could be the most beautiful woman in the world. If he wanted to cheat, he's still gonna do it.
Right.
So but
it's very easy to go there though.
No, because my ex messed with a woman that looked like a Furby. Her hair, she looked like a Furby. She looked like her name was Lisa. She was my grandma's next door neighbor.
On mute.
She had her hair the whole way up here, had body pins, and she looked like a fucking Furby. You get her hair wet, he was messing with her. She lived next to my grandma. When I found out, I pulled up on the sidewalk on him. His friends were like, oh shit, she know. I got out the car with an umbrella and chasing down the street and beat his ass.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Time for that. I'm not fighting the woman. But she knew that. I ended up, it got to the point where I was like, you know what, Lisa? He's all yours. Yeah. I'm not chasing him all around Stilton, trying to figure out what he's doing, who he messing with. He's yours. Right. He's your responsibility now.
I always wonder why women do that, because honestly, it is our first instinct to want to fight the girl, but you should be fighting him first, because he's the one who's messing your whole space up, your whole mindset by even straying like that. And then being messy and not thinking I'm going to find out.
He's the reason I became like, I didn't take it personally, because he also messed with a woman that was in a halfway house who worked at Turkey Hill Mini Market.
Okay.
And I'm like, so I said something to her, and she was like, I didn't know. And I was like, I'm not mad at you. You living in a halfway house, you fucking drug addict. But I'm not mad at you because you didn't know. So I think after Dwayne, I realized they really will mess with anything. It ain't got nothing to do with me and the way I look.
It's an ego.
He gonna mess with whatever looks in him. So, and I really get upset when women say, but why her? What does she have that I don't have? But I'm so much pretty. We gotta stop taking it personally, girls, because it has nothing to do with us. Really,
if you're not a serial dater like myself, you do go inward first, because if you don't have the experience, you don't have a general thick skin, yeah, you can go there. But at the end of the day, is it a waste of energy? Yes, it is. But you have to let him know that it's a violation on all levels, because I'm not trying to share you. And okay,
like you can do
This
that.
boy came home. This
Yes,
boy came home with 2 suck marks on both sides of his neck. This nigga had nerve to say that while he was at work at UPS, 2 boxes fell on his neck. I said, boy, if you don't get out of my house right now, I swear to God, I'm about to beat your ass.
Oh,
yeah. He had the dumbest ass lies that anybody could tell.
Oh, it was worse for me. Like, so Ken used to, because I used to work really long hours at a hospital. So I would work like overnight shifts. And because I would work overnight shifts, Levi would be at my parents' house. So he really got to do whatever he went from 7 o'clock at night to 7 o'clock in the morning, because that's when I was at the hospital working, right? I would come home and I'm finding panties. You know, I got a 1994 white girl ass. Why is there a size large drawers in the bedroom? Like, you know, I'm shaped like a small box. I don't got no fucking hips. So where am I supposed to put these large drawers at? And then it was like strands of hair that wasn't mine. Why is there blonde hair in the fucking bathroom? I got dark hair. Like,
that's a violation on so many levels. And he was in
you know
your
what
house?
I'm saying? So I was like, yes.
Why are guys messy? That's another thing.
So,
if you're gonna be with it, like, try to clean your crap up. Like, at least know your steps.
Because they think we're stupid and we're not gonna figure it out.
Right. Oh no. I'd be
sniff that stuff out.
I'd be knowing.
That's I'd be knowing exactly, because I feel like God does bless us with intuition, because that really is what we're born
I got
with.
it bad.
We're the nurturers. We should know everything that's going wrong in our space.
Right.
And God forbid you have a baby on somebody, or if you knock somebody up and then you real messy, because now you're creating life on me. Yeah. That's not mine.
Alternate.
And I don't know this. I've just heard. Anyway, I want to wrap this up, but first of all, I thank y'all for even sharing stories, because I don't want to drop no names. But my point of all of this is just to tie in and realize that we're all kind of going through some kind of struggle, and that relationships, to me, takes time. The ones that are worth your life or worth your space will be there. And even the ones that you had a season with and then you don't see them again or whatever, they've grown up, they come back around. If they come back around, that's great. But like Teri said, it's not about you. It's not your value. It doesn't make you less or more of a woman. I think all we want in this world is for somebody to obviously be there for us, not try to create some kind of false narrative, not include you in any drama. You know, tie up your loose ends before you get with me, especially if I'm the type of person that doesn't like messiness. But I'll say for me personally, and I'll wrap it up this way, is that Twitter is definitely an easy app to kind of just put stuff out there. Do y'all feel like, since I don't know how long y'all been on Twitter, but I think I joined on at like 2013 or something like that. When y'all got on Twitter, do you feel like it became kind of a dumpster fire for opinions, like as far as dating and stuff? Or do you find that it's made it almost more exciting, especially if you're single, being on Twitter? Because I'm sure we had crushes, and we're not going to drop no names of obviously anybody. There are people that you might think are cute that are on Twitter that you probably never cross paths with, or that you enjoy talking to of the opposite sex. So what do you feel like Twitter kind of adds as to why we're always on it, or we're always having our conversations, whether it be sports or not? What do you feel like Twitter has done for you in terms of, like, I don't know, socialization? Has it kind of lit up the dating spark, or is it just one of those things you just like to go on and just sound off and make fun of people? Shae, I'll start with you. I feel like Shae is like queen of Twitter from time to time. She knows to put salt in the wound, especially with the Sixers.
You know, I like to stir the pot. Shoot, man, what is this, like my 4th account? But I did start back in 2010. I would say now it makes it exciting in a sense, as far as, like, you know, I would say I feel comfortable, as a little, depending on what it is, but as far as, like, you know, getting opinion, asking a question and trying to get everybody's opinions, you know, with dating or just the opposite sex, Because I'd be asking some weird ass, some nasty questions just to see. So I think it's exciting to get people's different point of view. At the same time, it could be a little bit messy, especially like with Eagles Twitter. But that's a whole nother. Yeah, I think it's exciting.
We ain't gonna go there.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go there. But
yeah, because that became turf war and crap a couple years ago. It's just stupid stuff. Anyway, no, you're right.
No, I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting. You get to hear different people's point of view, and this and more. I feel like a lot of, at least some of my followers, and even if they're not following me, like just people see the retweets and stuff. We have like other people commenting. You just get a different point of view. So I think a lot of people are kind of open to just asking certain stuff. So
that's why I started following you, because I think I got you from Chante, or it was either you, her, Terry retweeted something that was really funny, and I was like, yo, she be crazy with.
I need Jesus. She's on mute.
AJ, you're muted.
There you go.
Okay, first of all, thank you. Sidebar, all this time I've been holding my mic, it's not plugged in. So this is the pilot episode, okay?
I think you should still post it, after you do the editing.
Oh, no,
This is good.
It's just the mic just sounds better, but whatever. Anyway,
Gotcha.
So what I was saying was that I met Terry me and Terry became mostly Twitter buddies, and that's how I stayed on it. Then it became a sports thing. Then it became people she followed, I followed. Then it kind of flowed, and then eventually I stumbled on Chante. Then Chante led me to you, and so it grew from there. Then I got my friend Eddie on it, who I went to UArts with when I was there. But Terry, when you were on Twitter, like when we first started getting on Twitter, what were you on there for initially? Was it just sports talk, or was it just something to do?
Well, I joined Twitter in 2009.
Yeah, you were there.
I didn't know what was going on. It was more of sports. That's when the Phillies were good. So I talked about the Phillies a lot. I didn't have a lot of followers back then. I didn't know how to do that. But as my followers grew and everything, you get to meet new people. It got into Eagles Twitter, and then it got into politics Twitter. And the dating part of Twitter I did date someone.
I was waiting for you to say something.
Yeah.
Same. Mine was through Facebook.
So Twitter might be good for dating sometimes. But it made me hate people. Like, I really hate people, because it shows people's true colors. And I don't know. I don't know how to say it.
How many accounts have you had? Because I know you had two.
I had my same account. Okay. I have a jailed account when they used to put you in jail when you tweeted too much in an hour. But I've always had my same account.
That's what I remember. You had another account. I said,
I've been suspended, but I know that was the longest week of my life, being suspended from Twitter. Like, what am I supposed to do now? Go back to Facebook? Like, what am I going to do over there? But these
argue with people in groups.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of times I just sit back and watch, because there's a lot of clicks on Twitter, and I think this shit's funny because we're grown. Like, why are y'all on these clicks and like Mean Girls and all that stuff?
Yeah, I was like caught up in that. Yep.
Yeah, and I don't understand it. Like, and
it's like high school never died when you start
exactly.
Like that.
I don't have time for that.
No.
Like, my whole thing was coming on there and messing with Trump supporters and stuff like that. That was the highlight of my day. Getting on there and getting them all upset and blocking them.
I know. I be seeing you fight with people. And remember when I first started tweeting at you, like, I'm like, why do you talk to these people?
Because they find me. They find me, and then they say some dumb shit, and then I got to go back in on them, and then they block me. Like, I block them.
You up? You ain't right.
No, I can't do that, because I don't get. Look, my latest time I got suspended is because I called Donald Trump a fucking retard, and they suspended me for a week. I
came at Mitch McConnell. That's why I lost Girly Virgo, because I said, I hope he gets shot.
Oh,
It was
no,
during
you
the
can't do that.
insurrection.
You
Come on
can't do
now.
that. You can't do that.
Didn't you want to shoot him at that point? I'm sorry. Never mind.
I mean, you
Candace
can't
Owens
wish
got
that
me.
on.
Oh, that's right. Candace Owens. Yeah. She
Oh,
deserves
don't
it.
get me started on that one.
She deserves it. I'm sorry. You shouldn't even.
No,
You should.
I'm just saying. I'm not gonna say I don't disagree.
It's like Chris Rock. I understand. I don't condone it, but I understand. All right, Chante. So what got you on it? What you got? What you got on Twitter for when you first started getting on it?
The very, very first time I started was like the early 2000s. And I didn't stay on long because I didn't know how to work Twitter.
Yeah, neither did I.
And yeah, it felt like, how do you get followers? Can I find people that I know? So I just left it for like a good, oh my God, it had to been over like 10 years of like from the last time I was on there up until like recently. And now like when I came back, it was more of just wanting to connect with people, especially like other autistic families, and promote my books. But then like I think what helped, and I think that's how I think all three of y'all kind of found me, was Fourth and John had surprised me with tickets to an Eagles game in 2019. And when they posted the video of them showing up, you know, to surprise us, it got retweeted like crazy. So when I around the time that they retweeted it, I had rejoined Twitter, and all of a sudden I started getting like followers, because once Fourth and John followed me, then they tagged me in the video. And then people were like, oh, that's who that is. Okay. And it was kind of like, I'm really grateful for Fourth and John for what they did for me and Levi, because it not only just giving us the tickets, but giving me like, I feel like a second family, certain people on Twitter, within Eagles Twitter. And like, you know, Teri said, like, it's so many fucking clicks, like we're in school. Yeah. And I'm like, we all grown, like we way grown, and having these stupid ass clicks. And I think y'all seen a couple of tweets of me like talking shit about that. I'm like, so do y'all get jumped in? Do y'all get smacked around? Yeah. Is there a certain color you gotta wear? Do you gotta say the Pledge of Allegiance, or, you know, like some stupid
Do I need
shit,
a t-shirt?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause it doesn't, yeah, like it doesn't make sense to me. And I've never been that type of person outside of social media anyway with clicks. Like if I vibe with you, I vibe with you. No one is going to tell me not to hang out with someone because you don't fucking like them. That's your problem. Until someone proves to me personally that they've disrespected me or my child, we cool. Other than that, you don't get to dictate to me who I should like, who I shouldn't hang out with. I'll probably already know before you even tell me that I don't fuck with that person, because I'll feel a vibe like they're just,
that's how I go. Yep.
Yeah, they're on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But like, I remember, I'm trying to remember. I think how I found Shae was because Daryl started following me, and then he would retweet stuff from Shae, and I would be cracking up on her tweets, and then that's how I found her. I think AJ, you found me through Fourth and John. And Teri found me because I think I tweeted something about the link, and then she was like, were you the young lady that came over to me trying to find the sensory room? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, and then I had to like message her, and like, I'm sorry if I was like looking like I was irritated, because like 5 different people had no idea what I was talking about with the sensory room. And I'm like, yo, the shit is in the stadium. How do y'all not know where it's at? Until Teri helped me. Everybody else before I got to her was looking at me like I was speaking another language. I was like, y'all don't know where the fucking, I was like,
that was the first year we had it.
Okay. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I was like, so is it really here? Because no one knows what I'm talking about. By then, like, who I gotta cuss out? Right. And by then, Levi had calmed down because we was walking for like 25 minutes trying to find somebody until we got to Teri. He was just like, I'm chilling now because, you know, I'm good. Can I get a pretzel? I'm like, all right, let's stop and get a pretzel.
I think what I remember most, speaking of clicks, to tie this up, is that what I don't like about clicks is what I experienced during quarantine last year. And I'm not gonna say a name, but basically I felt like I was kind of in an awkward position during somebody's live or whatever. And I just got to the point where I was just like, I don't like this feeling. I was like, this is not cool. Like, I'm just doing this just because I'm bored. I had some downtime, and it just felt like I shouldn't have been part of it. And that was the first time I realized, don't assume that everybody's cool with you just because you had one good interaction with them. Not everybody is for everybody. And that's even on social media, unfortunately. And, you know, that's when I kind of realized, I'm like, you know what? That's cool. You know, it was a little, it didn't hurt because it wasn't like anybody cussed me out or anything, but it was just that subtle, you know, kind of feeling of like Homer going back in the bushes. And I just kind of felt like, and especially after everything that erupted after the day that Mike Scott fought, and everybody kind of had this issue with the tailgate, and then all that stuff started. And then I started getting all these random tweets, and everybody was like, I don't know, something had happened. I still don't know what happened. I don't really care now, but it kind of was the reason why 4th and John is 4th and John now, because of what happened. So that was a whole bunch of stuff that shouldn't have happened. And that's when I realized, okay, now we're taking this shit too far. Like now you got people whose characters being assassinated, and one of them rightfully so, but it just gets to a point where it's like, I'm like Terry, like clicks die with high school. Like we're too old for this stuff. This is just supposed to be entertainment. Like I like going on Twitter and seeing memes now. Like memes pretty much get me through a work day when I'm ADD and I don't feel like working, you know? So, you know, yeah. So that's why I said I appreciate how Shae is when she just be just asking random stuff. I'll be like, what's she doing with that? And then I just start cracking up. And truth be told, I'm gonna just reveal this, and this is only because even if he sees it, I don't even care because we all know him to be funny. I thought Shae and Daryl were dating.
Let's not even look.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say nothing more because if y'all probably know,
that's what the fuck I got to say. Say the fuck out of my DMs, married
we
men.
are
Say the fuck out of
definitely
my
leaving
DMs.
this part in. Okay. Well, all I gotta say is that I love all you beautiful ladies. I thank you for doing this.
I love you too. I love all y'all.
I love y'all. This was great.
We gotta do this again.
Yes.
We are gonna do this again because I'm gonna learn the art of editing, and I'm gonna learn to plug my freaking mic in like a person who wants to actually host a show.
We need to do our own red. We need to do our own red talk table, whatever the hell that's.
Yes,
Girl,
red
please.
table talk.
This is my goal.
Yes.
Can I be Willow? With this, Terry?
Oh,
can I be Willow? Oh, wow. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah.
Look,
right.
Let me tell you. That's why I started liking, especially during quarantine. That's really what inspired me, because you know how many artists were trying to do like these things on IG, and I said I like the idea of just talking to people, and so the more people did it, I said I want to try it, and I'd rather do it this way because IG gives me a headache, and I don't know if you can put that many people on at a time. So, but thank you, ladies. I will definitely keep in touch with you, Chante. I'm sure if I don't talk to you before your holiday, have a great, safe holiday and vacation. And Terry, I'll be tweeting you as usual. Shae as well. And yeah, we're gonna talk again because the link up is too fun, as you can see. But we're gonna get this tight. The next edition.
If I miss my free apple pie, I swear to God, I'm gonna hunt you down.
You and your.
I thought she had left and got it. I thought she was like, F this, I'm just gonna go get my apple pie.
She don't play about her apple pie.
I love y'all though. Take care.
Love you too.
Bye.
You too.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.